Hey everyone, how's it going? For those of you who are new here, my name is Jacob Williams. I am a professional music producer and composer, and today we're going to be reacting to The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess by Chappell. To sum things up, I've actually listened to a decent amount of Chappell. You'll see as I scroll through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the amount of songs that are on this album that I am familiar with. The only ones I've heard regularly are Hot to Go, Pink Pony Club, Femininominon. I think, yes, those are the main three that I've heard, other than Good Luck Babe and obviously the most recent single, The Subway. One thing I wanted to sort of get across before we start filming, before we start getting into it, being that I am already familiar with some of the stuff on here, I still want you guys to sort of get my reaction while hearing the rest of the album for the first time. So the way I'm going to do this, and if I do albums in the future where I have heard bits and pieces or chunks and not the full project, what I'll do is I'll show just brief snippets of the listening process as I'm going through it, because I'm not going to have a whole lot to say while I'm re-listening to a song that I've already heard like probably a bazillion times. But I still will have things to say about it probably periodically or after I listen to it. So just know in advance that those songs in this video and in videos going forward, if there's like a single I'm already familiar with, we've done this since the beginning with Virgin by Lorde, because I had already heard Shapeshifter before I did the album for that. I'll just kind of like show brief parts or the most interesting parts of the listening session for each of those tracks, and then I'll just kind of give my opinion at the end, or just some really cool things that I hear. Even in between, there are things that I noticed that I maybe didn't really notice before. And other than that, I'm really looking forward to checking out the rest of this. Apparently After Midnight is also one that I'm familiar with. You know what? I have that saved to my Spotify, but it doesn't sound that familiar to me right now. And I don't know why. Like, I'm just looking at it going, what song is that? So again, when it comes to full projects that I haven't heard, it's going to be a mixed bag. But regardless, this is a Patreon temporary exclusive. So shout out to you guys. And in the future, if you're watching this on YouTube when it posts later on a month from now, hello from the past, and give some love to our lovely patrons that I'm going to put right here. If you're interested in becoming a patron, it's a really cool place. It's like a secret club for this channel. We essentially just talk about stuff. Sometimes I'll do little posts when stuff's happening, or you'll get content like this ahead of time. You'll get the other voted option every week. So the winner of the week gets posted exclusively, or gets posted right away on YouTube, and then the runner up to that gets to be the Patreon exclusive for everyone here on Patreon to see in advance. So again, feel free to come hang out. It's awesome over there. You also, if you are a musician, you get some sound packs that I design in my home studio. So if you're a musician looking for some fresh sounds, you get some with your patron subscription at that tier. Let's go ahead and focus on this album, why don't we? Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. Fun fact, I am currently located in Missouri, and I believe that is where Chappell ROAN is from, is Springfield, Missouri. So that's some interesting lore that I learned on my way out here. I'm told that the concept of this album is about an aspiring performer or an aspiring star trying to leave, you know, her country roots behind and to move to the city to make it big. That's just what I've been told. And again, these are all just like songs, but I've just been told kind of the overall concept of this album and this music is that, which is kind of cool considering that I personally did the opposite. I'm from LA, like I'm from the like West Coast, and I came out to the country because cheaper prices and it's nice, but people are awesome. So it's a vibe. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm really excited to listen to this project in full. I've had to listen to it a lot for production work. Around the time this album came out, let me see when that was, September of 2023. Everybody I was working for at the time wanted to sound like this project. So I'm very excited. Again, I love the singles. I love the ones that I've heard on repeat every here and there. They're great songs. And I'm excited to hear them again in tandem with the rest of the project that Chappell has built here. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Track 1, Femininominon.
Story time again. Got so close once, but then he lost it. Should've listened to your friends about his girlfriend back in Boston. You sent him pictures and playlists and phone sex. He disappeared from the second that you said, let's get coffee, let's meet up. I'm so sick of online love.
Now that I'm listening to this in live time, I know I said I was going to keep the previously heard songs brief, but I did notice that keyboard thing happening back there is really interesting. So it's like it's a piano, and it's literally just rapid playing like this. Same note, maybe even with the dominant tone. So if you're playing A, then you'd also play E with it. So it's A, E, A, just going and what's called an arpeggio. And that's usually just a rapid series of notes being played on an instrument.
And I don't understand, why can't any man hit it like, get it hot, make a bitch, it's a femme. Hit it like, get it hot, make a bitch. It's can you play a song with a fucking beat? Hit it like rum pam pa pam. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on. It's a Femininominon. Hit it like rum pam pa pam. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on. It's a Femininominon.
So we're going to talk about two things here. We're going to talk about how cool that arrangement thing is, having a little vocal punch in, sort of stop the calm vibe and bring in the roaring beat with all the other instruments with it. And that guitar riff is very stellar. It has a lot of influence of the 80s, and also just a really it's got just a really strong just pedal sound in general. It's got like a compression thing to it for sure. It's also got a sort of chorus thing doubling it up, making it sound big and wide. Have heard that lyric before, and I just laugh every time because I used to work at Papa John's. That was my first like day job, was pizza and Papa John's. So it's funny. Our ovens used to be really hot, by the way. We used to keep them at, I think, oh man, I'm trying to think, like it's either 450, 480 or 520. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
So let's say it's working out. You pretend to love his mother, lying to your friends about how he's such a goddamn good life.
So it's funny enough, I have heard this song before in the car. I have not heard it before in these, and I'm just hearing all kinds of little cool, awesome things in there. There's a lot of little textures back there if you listen, both in the keyboards and in the percussion. I can't really characterize them, but if you listen long enough, or if you have really high fidelity headphones, you can hear all these neat little like doubles and triple layer type stuff happening back there.
Stuck in the suburbs, you're folding his laundry. You got what you wanted, so stop feeling sorry. Crying at the nail salon. I'm so sick. Get it hot, make a bitch, it's a femme. Hit it like, get it hot.
So I thought that was a synth before, the burr, 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 burr thing in the back behind the guitar. I think it's actually a really low string guitar, actually.
Like rum pam pa pam. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on. It's a feminine.
So normally with beats like this, people usually sometimes refer to them as dance breaks. I'm gonna just refer to it as a dance influenced pop beat, right? Because it's going boom, 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 with the snare happening between that do thing. So it's going cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, and between the cha is boom, 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 happening on the toms. And what's great is I want to say these are electronically processed drums, but each tom is going between the right and the left. Based on my current audio setup right now, you're not going to hear it because right now I have everything running in mono because of just how I have everything working. But if you're listening to the song on your own time, you will hear that the toms are going between the right and the left, very much like this. It can be done with the tremolo effect, which I talk about a lot on this channel. It's such an underrated production effect. People use it a lot, but no one ever really talks about it. It's a great way to slowly pan stuff and move it. I think Jack Antonoff talked about it once, in Tape Notes, or one of those lovely shows that they have here on YouTube. Definitely a very underrated, because it adds a lot of dynamic to your beat, makes it feel very big.
Ladies, you know what I mean, and you know what you need, and so does he. But does it happen? No. But does it happen? No. Well, what we really need is a Femininominon. A what? A Femininominon.
Femininominon. I'm always missing a pronunciation, or what is it? I'm missing a syllable on that every time I say it. I just say Femininominon. It's Femininominon.
Hit it like a Papa Bomb. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on. Did you hear me? Play the fucking beat! Hit it like a Papa Bomb. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on. It's a Femininominon. Hit it like a Papa Bomb. Get it hot like Papa John. Make a bitch go on and on. It's a
I've always liked that about this song. So I always appreciate when a song does this, and when I've produced songs for other people, I try to make the last chorus feel very special. And there's a lot of ways to do it, but one way to do it is to add more layers into your final chorus, or to have something really abrupt happen before it to make it feel special, to make it feel like you're pulling into that last chorus. And both things happen here. So that's the thing. I've heard this before, but hearing it in this setting, superior. I don't know why. These headphones just make everything sound magical. Just to me personally, it's my preference. I love Audio-Technica. I think they make amazing products. Those layers were actually very present in the last chorus, in the vocals particularly. And I kind of like how simple the song is, but it has a lot of like deeper textures, just kind of deeply rooted in there for those that want to kind of tread into the production bed. I'd be really interested to hear just the instrumental of it, just so I could dissect it better, or even the acapella, so I could hear Chappell's voice very well. And I wanted to compliment her voice too before we go on. One quality I really like about Chappell's voice is not only those big notes that she can hit and that she's very capable of holding quite well, but also she does this like yodely 90s grunge kind of thing. I think in the Subway reaction that we did on this channel, I was referring to it as a yodel, but very Cranberries influenced. It feels very Cranberries, like Linger. Feels very along the lines of that. Yeah, let's move on to Red Wine Supernova, shall we? I believe I've heard this a couple of times for work, but I don't really remember the chorus. I will once we get listening to it, I think. Okay, yeah.
She was a playboy, Bridget Bardot. She showed me things I didn't know. She did it right there, out on the deck. Put her canine teeth in the side of my neck.
Synthpop is always just so special to me. Like, it's got such a evolving sound over the ages. The palette soft enough for most people to find accessible to it, or to be like drawn to it rather, is to use synthesizers, because synthesizers can make things sound energetic and big and huge, but they can also make it just feel a bit more bouncy. I think that's why it's kind of persisted through our sort of musical ages, if you will. Like, it's just evolved constantly, and so many artists have different takes on it. It's truly a wonderful genre. Yeah, no, I remember doing this one, and yeah, there was a lot of the guitar influence on this, like the straight like cowboy chords of it was giving me Midwest, and then the synth pop vibes were giving me Princess. So I think from an aesthetic standpoint, Chappell hits it on the head with what she is trying to go for. What that yodel and what that vocal break does is it kind of gives us a sense of like drama, right? It gives us a sense of like, almost like when you put distortion on an instrument, right? Because that adds color to it, that adds texture, that adds, or if you're familiar with like food terms, right? It adds flavor to the audio. the way that Chappell sort of carves out, space for color when she goes to sing some of these notes, it's the same thing. Different vocal techniques do that, but for acapellas, they give them just this really colorful palette that makes it enjoyable. That is not easy to write. It's not easy to sort of coordinate, okay, what's going to make the song sound catchy? Sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle, right? Sometimes in the studio, you will encounter moments where you sing something or you write something that just has the energy innately, right? But other times it does, it is a process. You do have to kind of test between multiple ideas, and that, without a doubt, happened on songs like Red Wine Supernova. That was as good as I remember it, for sure. I didn't know I actually had no idea that the album, maybe I did at one point like 2 years ago when this came out, but I had no idea the album just started off with 2 bangers, just right out the gate. Now we're starting to enter a little bit of unfamiliar territory here. After Midnight, I don't remember what this one sounds like. Apparently I liked it. Probably had to do with a job. Pretty rolling, guys. Track 3, After Midnight. Maybe I remember this. No, I don't think I do.
My mama said nothing good happens when it's late and you're dancing alone. She's in my head saying it's not attractive, wearing that dress and red lipstick. This is what
So I have a question, and maybe you guys can help me in the comments because I am ignorant and I don't know these things. So did this come out before Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, like before the whole Short and Sweet arc with all the singles and stuff? Because I know that Sabrina loves Chappell Roan, right? And I know that, when you love an artist, you tend to kind of like get inspired by that artist, right? This is giving me like super, super proto Espresso vibes.
This is what I like. I've been a good girl for a long time, but baby I like flirting. I love her by my side. Can be a good girl even if I tried. 'Cause after midnight, I'm feeling kind of freaky. Maybe it's the club lights. I kinda wanna kiss your girlfriend if you don't mind. I love a little drama. Let's start a bar fight. 'Cause everything good happens after.
This is such a tried and true, like, great way to write a pop song, right? Like, you have the driving beat, you have the funky bass, you have the shanky, like, Nile Rodgers style guitars. You can't go wrong with it. I have heard so many songs that use this kind of thing, this kind of format. I only want to say formula because everybody writes different, right? But I've heard so many songs that use this type of instrumentation and they all slap. It's always a good time. It's always a banger. I don't know why that is. I think it's because a lot of like modern pop is rooted in like soul and funk and Motown and, stuff like that. So I think it's natural for us to just feel an innate groove to stuff like that, and it just never gets old. Same with like, I don't know, in electronic dance music, house music will never die. It will never and I say that like as if music genres can die, right? They can't. There will always be appreciation for almost every art form out there, right? But house is one of the oldest forms of like EDM, electronic dance music, and it is like has never really gone anywhere. You know what I mean? It's never been properly challenged. And I think the sound set that Chappell is deciding to use for After Midnight is exactly that.
I'm feeling kind of freaky, maybe it's the moonlight. I kinda wanna kiss your boyfriend if you don't mind.
I was waiting for it to happen again. That drum fill right there, I thought it was an effect, but I think it's actually like a little filtered percussion line.
This is what I like. I've been a good girl for a long time, but baby I like flirting. I love her by my side. Can be a good girl even if I tried. 'Cause after midnight, I'm feeling kind of freaky. Maybe it's the club lights. I kinda wanna kiss your
I love when basses go up in notes, like they go up in harmony, and everything else just cuts off. Like all the other like frequencies just stop for a second and let the bass have its moment, even for one or two notes. It's so special to me, and I have no idea why. It's just such a special, great time.
Oh, drama, let's start a bar fight. 'Cause everything good happens after midnight. I'm feeling kinda freaky, maybe it's the moonlight. I kinda wanna be a freak in the club. Yeah, we're making move and we're making out. Yeah, we're making make love. Yeah, we're making make love. Be a freak in the club.
So right now I'm noticing something. The bridge is the same as the chorus, but it's got a couple little like effect changes in the back there, like the little cymbal bed or like effect foliage bed has a little bit of hype behind it, a little more saturated, a little bit higher boost in the frequencies. And then you also have this like synth line just kind of going in the back there, kind of meshing around with those mid frequencies.
Be a freak in the club.
Oh,
After midnight.
nice. Very nice. What a vibe. What a vibe. So again, I like it because it's literally proto espresso. Before I keep saying that though, I'm going to look up when the actual single for that came out. April 2024. So this did come out before espresso. It just has a very similar kind of funk and like rhythm and groove to it. I don't want anyone to think I'm like drawing completely direct comparisons here. I'm just saying it probably was inspired by, because Sabrina herself has said that she's listened to Chappell ROAN. So again, I can just hear the mutual sort of respect and the artistry and the mutual inspiration happening there. And yeah, it's just an overall good song. It's an overall just nice funky jam. The title is pretty much the vibe that the song gives off. Let's move on to a song that I know, multiple songs in a row that I know for a fact I haven't heard. Track 4, Coffee. Ooh, we might get a slower one. But we know Pink Pony Club starts slow. Ooh, that was a nice chord.
Can't meet you for dinner at the Italian places where I met your family. Some words were exchanged. It's just the jazz bar on Marianne Street, but you buy me a drink and we know where that leads. So I'll meet you for coffee, 'cause if we have wine, you say that you want me. I know that's a lie. If I didn't love you, it would be fine. I'll meet you for coffee, only for coffee. Nowhere else is safe. Every place leads back to your place. You said
that was a really cool performance. It was really unique. I have never heard the song before, so I'm kind of taken aback by it, because I view Chappell ROAN as a very like hyped, like high energy kind of singer, a high energy kind of artist. And hearing her even on the subway, I was like, this feels a bit softer, it feels a bit slower. So hearing that on this album is kind of cool. And I like her going into some of her more lower notes, some of her lower register, and the way that those strings built up too, accompanying and sort of supporting that chord progression up into what we're about to hear now with these new guitar layers, very nicely panned on the headphones, is pretty awesome. It's pretty good.
let's do the park, 'cause I love the park. That may be true,
Oh,
but
beautiful.
God forbid it gets dark.
Beautiful chord
They
progression.
come the excuses that fuel the illusions, but I'd rather feel something than nothing at all. So I'll meet you for coffee, 'cause if we have wine, you say that you're sorry. I know that's a lie.
I love that little melodic phrase right there. Da-na-na-na. That gives me very nostalgic kind of feelings, and I don't know why. Like, I just have no idea why. I think it calls back to like some sort of like 90s 2000s girl group kind of thing. Maybe it feels very like that for some reason. I have no idea why. I have as many plays as the other ones, so kind of, I don't know why. I really don't, because I think this is a brilliant song so far.
If I didn't trust you, it would be fine. I'll meet you for coffee, only for coffee. Nowhere else is safe. Every place leads back to your
we key change down in energy. That sounded very dark. Very, very, very dark. Yeah, that was a great choice. Wow. So normally when key changes happen, and again, I hate saying normally, right? Because it's really just in my listening experience. When I usually hear a key change in a song, it's to up the energy. But alternatively, you can bring your song down in a key whenever you go to write like a new section if you want it to kind of descend, get a little moodier. I don't hear that nearly as often as I hear key ups. So the fact that we're hearing a key down here is really pleasant to my ears. I want to hear how this plays out.
Done this before, and I don't need it anymore.
Oh, pleasant.
So let's not do coffee. Let's not even try. It's better.
The piano is playing the same chords as before. And if you notice, when they were done with that bridge section where the energy went down and the key went down, there was a moment of silence, no music. And that's so it doesn't feel abrupt when we go back to the original key. It's done very intentionally so that there's no like dissonance or it doesn't feel jumpy or weird. So now we're back to the original chord progression of the song. And the piano, from an engineering standpoint for this part, is shelved off on the lower frequencies, on the lower end of the EQ. So what that means is you're not hearing all the rumbly, bassy parts of it right now because we're trying to calm down the energy. This is like the calm part of the song. Once we bring back those big bass parts, it's going to feel like the energy went up. So they're kind of saving that to like a little later.
Leave it, give it some time. If I didn't love you, it would be fine. 'Cause if we do coffee, it's never just coffee.
Brilliant.
It's never just coffee.
Nice trail off. Oh my goodness. Oh, it sounds straight out of Disney. Chappell, ROAN killing the game with the background vocals right there. The harmonies and the background vocals were straight out of a Disney film. It just reminded me of those old Disney films, like, I don't know, like Lady and the Tramp or Aristocats, like just those like really old Disney films where it just be so moody and they have those choir groups singing. It felt very like that, very thick harmonies, just tightly glued together right there. I really enjoyed that, and that says a lot because I usually don't really care for softer songs. I also really liked what it was about too, how I can't trust us just going out for coffee, because usually if we have coffee, it leads to other activities and other things that I would rather not engage in for the own wellness of my heart. And that's kind of the vibe that it gave me. And that was pretty enjoyable. That was very good. I'm going to like that one. That was a good song. Let's move on to Casual, which has a very upped play count. Let's find out why. Got all synth and drums right now.
My friends call me a loser, 'cause I'm still hanging around. I just a girl that you bang on your couch. I thought you thought of me better, someone you couldn't lose. You said we're not together, so now when we kiss
I like the way the vocals kind of go back and forth there. The vocals actually take the center stage of this, despite there being so many instruments happening in the background right there. And the reason why is because the instruments don't really change. The instruments kind of keep their same rhythmic and melodic passages, which is a very 80s thing, to have your entire verse kind of sound the same, while the vocals kind of narratively like bring it all out. It is definitely a very 80s thing.
finger shoes. You said, baby, no attachment, but we're knee deep in the passenger seat, and you're eating me out. Is it casual now? 2 weeks and your mom invites me to her house in Long Beach. Is it casual now? Being casual when my favorite bra lives in your dresser. And it's hard being casual when I'm on the phone talking down your sister. And I try to be the chill girl that holds your tongue and gives you space. I try to be the chill girl, but honestly I'm not. Knee deep in the passenger seat, and you're eating me out. 2 weeks and your mom invites me to a Long Beach house. Hey, did I let this drag on so long? You can count it out.
Yeah, that was really good. I think that ending right there was a really nice build-up because, like I mentioned earlier, the song is very slow building. It's very casual. And having everything kind of come to the head at the height of Chappell's emotion during her singing performances was a really nice, well-produced combo for sure. Yeah, I did really like that. I think it kind of shows a different side of Chappell's music because I've always viewed her as, again, as the, like, these last two songs kind of show a different side of her sort of sound, right? And it kind of makes it less shocking when you hear songs like The Giver that have more of a country root, more of something a little more rudimentary, more fundamental to her roots as an artist, more so than a glossy, big pop anthem, right? And instead, it's kind of like this more soft, intimate, sort of building, longing kind of ballad sort of thing, right? And it's cool to hear that from her instead of just like a bunch of hot to goes right back back to back. I mean, I wouldn't complain because that song is incredible, right? But I kind of was expecting a bit more of that in this little middle section of the album. I'm kind of glad we're getting a bit of variety. Let's move on to Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl. Wow, it's a really long song title, but it's not as bad as Panic at the Disco. Let's move right into track 6, Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl.
You know what they say, never waste a Friday night.
Femininominon 2.0, boys.
But there I was, in my heels with my hair straight. And so I took him to this bar. This man wouldn't dance. He didn't ask a single question. And he was wearing these fugly jeans. It doesn't matter though.
Hold on.
He doesn't have what it takes to be with a girl like me. Not over dramatic. I know what I want.
So I heard, just by perusing the comment sections of my videos at some point, you guys wanted Mayhem by Lady Gaga at some point, right? Or some form of Lady Gaga content. I think we're drifting into that territory with songs like this because this right here is a perfect example of what I would like to dub as electropop. Pop music that has an electronic sort of influence, soundscape, edge, however you want to categorize it. It's electropop, which can also be considered synth pop, but just a bit more extra, a bit more electronic, more electro influence to it. And that right there, that's like vocal chops being rapidly hit on like sample pads, kind of like what I have over here. Just live, they probably do the same thing. The keyboard player probably has like a bunch of like pads and stuff or some sort of loop thing that they hit. But it sounds magical back there with the dance break.
We're leaving the planet
Nice. I know the chorus is coming, guys, but we need to talk about that. That vocal is so big. There are so many layers to it. I know it doesn't sound like it, but that right there is probably parallel compressed. So you probably have like, I don't know, a bunch of effects on one bus right below it. And they're probably just being slammed by the compressor. And then her main voice is probably up there with just a distortion and a compressor, but not as compressed as the one below it. So there's two vocal tracks going on right there. And then whatever else the producer chose to add onto it to make it sound that magical. That was a huge, huge vocal. Oh, wow. And what's great is it's not that melodic, right? It's very, there's a lot of like more kind of straight notes, like just kind of staying on the same note for multiple syllables. Hold on. Do you hear those snares coming up right now? Do you hear those? Those are incredible. Like, because they weren't in the first build up, right? They're just in this one. So it's kind of got this EDM sort of thing, right? Like it's just stomping like club music, right? But you got this drummer back there just ripping on these like paradiddle snare fills. Oh, those synths are incredible, man. Like those are so just big and compressed and distorted. I don't even want to know what they designed them with. They're just big, huge synths. And I don't know if they're like VST based, if they're analog based. I don't care. They're just ginormous. Has Chappell ever performed this live? I'm sure it just rocks with the whole band. What an interesting, like, energetic song to lead us right into Hot to Go. The way they dive down, that is so insane to me. Fantastic. Yeah, that was really good. If Chappell has performed that live, I want to see clips of it because that has got to just stomp live with the band and just the diving synth bombs, I'm going to call them, because that was just incredible. So I've already heard Hot to Go a lot. We're going to go through it together, just kind of just jam it. I know the song pretty well. I have listened to it a lot. It's a banger. I'm already going to tell you this. It's just got a really nice play between the synths, the guitars, the drums. Her voice is really well performed across it because she does that very hyped, bordering spoken word type of thing that she's kind of known to do on the bridges, but that kind of takes the place in the verse a little bit, but it borders on that tonality that she usually does, right? So it kind of sounds like Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl a little bit, but just more single power. It definitely was such a good song to pick as a single for this. Let's jam it.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, it's so good, man. That song is a vibe. Like I would go to a Chappell ROAN show just to hear that song. That and Pink Pony Club, I would go just to hear those songs. Like obviously I know that doesn't do her discography a whole lot of justice, but honestly I would go just for those songs. All right, moving on to track 8. My kink is Karma. Ooh. If I didn't know I was listening to a pop song right now on a pop album, that to me would sound like late 80s, early 90s industrial before the guitars come in. Like it's just got this pure kind of drum machine energy to it. I know it's such a quick loop, and you guys are probably like, Jake, who cares? It's just a small sound. To me, that gives me very like rooted in late 80s, early 90s, kind of like almost like Nine Inch Nails, like Pretty Hate Machine, or even later on with Teeth, just these like little like, I don't know, just programmable little boxy drum machine kind of things. That's what's reminding me of.
Rent paid, ruined my credit, stole my cute aesthetic. Who knew that we'd let it get this bad when it ended?
The way that vocal ended. Oh, going up into the crack. Oh, that's so hard to do and make it sound smooth. Good work on that.
It's coming,
Like the synth wave happening right now.
bridges you burn, if karma's real. Hope it's your turn.
Okay, so the bass right now has been the root of the chord that's kind of happening right now. And instead of going like 1 minor 6 4 5, it feels like it's going like 1 4 minor 3, or even like minor 6 minor 3. Like it's an interesting chord progression. I couldn't even tell you what it is right now. Actually, while I'm editing, I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna put it right here, just what's going on during the verse. I don't know, surreal. It's got a very like lucid kind of quality to it.
I heard from Katie, you're losing it lately. Move back with your parents and date girls who are 18. It's hard when you have a meltdown in the front of your house and you're getting kicked out. It's hard when you're drinking downtown and you're getting called out because you're running your mouth. Oh God, and it's coming around. Yeah, it's coming around. Yeah, it's coming
Ooh,
around.
the way that she repeated, it's coming around, the way it harmonizes and buzzes with the bass line is such a good combination of frequencies. Like, that alone is making this feel very hooky already.
Oh God. People say I'm jealous, but my kink is watching you.
Oh.
Ruin your life. You lose it.
I feel like the bass from the verse just got really big. Like they just cranked that cutoff knob.
You're mine. You tie your hair. People say I'm jealous, but my kink is watching you. Crashing your car. You breaking your heart. You thinking I care. People say I'm jealous, but my kink is karma.
Now it sounds like a regular bass. Like it sounds like a bass guitar, because I heard a little bit of flaw in the picking there. Like it sounded more organic than it sounded synth, like arped. So interesting. I would love to see a breakdown of the stems of some of these songs, because even as I'm listening right there, I'm like, what?
Wishing you the best in the worst way, using your distress as foreplay. 6 months since April, and I'm doing better. Fake Gucci sweater, but it's hot.
Ooh, that had to have been a reverse tom, or like a whoop. It sounded like a zipper almost, but it was like a reverse tom or something that led us into this next section.
And you're getting called out 'cause you're running your mouth. Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that was cool.
When you're going through hell and you're hating yourself, I'm feeling myself. It's hard when you know that you're caught and you're getting pissed off. It's getting me off. It's hard.
It's building up again.
It's hard. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. People say I'm jealous, but my kink is watching
Oh.
you. Ruin your life. You lose it. You're mine. You tie your hair. People say I'm jealous, but my kink is watching you. Crashing
Yeah, I'm like torn on what that sound was, honestly. But the song as a whole, great mixture of like synthwave, like 80s pop, some interesting like 90s rock stuff. So kind of like what we heard on the subway, but again, happened way before that, 2 years before that. It's a vibe. It's anything that Chappell does, at least so far from what I'm getting, will have elements of that bleeding into it. Those are probably like core inspirations to her artistry. We have 2 songs coming up before we reach Pink Pony Club, which is an absolute banger. I cannot believe, I mean, I can because it's a good song, but I can't believe it's almost at 1 billion streams. That is just insane. Track 9, Picture You. All right, we get another slow cut, a deep cut. Oh, that was cool. So we're going to talk about that. That little sound right there sounded like it was a sample. So it could have been a sample, or it could have been just some instruments that they played in the studio and made it sound like it was coming from a 70s tape machine. And did this thing. So I produce using Logic Pro, and in Logic Pro, there's like a tool called the fade tool, and you can like select what area you want to have sped up or to slow down, like as if like you're speeding up a record or slowing down a record. And I can do it with pretty much any sound I want. This sounds like it was like literally on a record and then went. So it could have been a sample that they quite literally physically did that with, or they could have digitally manipulated it, which is what I'm going to go with.
Draw the blinds, light every candle, slip off my pretty dress down my chest when I think of you every night, both lips on the mirror. It's ritualistic, counting lipstick stains where you should be.
So that was cool. So the chord progression kind of drifted. It pulled like a Depeche Mode or something, right? Like it went outside of the scale, used like a borrowed chord. And the guitar and the synth pluck followed each other. They like did similar up and down melodies across the scale, and even the borrowed scale that the song was using. And then when it came back home, Chappell had this very nice sort of warm vibrato quality to her voice to kind of make the music feel a little less unstable there. That could have been a production arrangement choice, or that could have been an artistic songwriting choice. Either way, it sounds awesome. Lots of synth ear candy on here for sure. There's like a big crunchy wide synth just scooping over that whole bass line. Like there's probably a bass guitar doing like the sub frequencies, like the lower frequencies, but the resonant frequencies are just going brow, brow, and it feels like it's just eating the whole bass section up.
Half of the things I do when I picture you.
Oh. Hear those?
So tell me now,
it's very sampled.
all your perversions. Am I doing research in a mini skirt at the library in your hometown?
Oh, that vocal phrase. I mean, the whole thing is great. Even those new background vocals that we got introduced in the arrangement here in the second verse. Hearing it sort of... I don't know, just kind of go back to how it was too for this pre-chorus, or this sort of like hooky end of the like chord progression in the verse. I don't know, it's just nice. It's got a nice nostalgic 90s sound to it.
Oh, I need you right.
Oh, the yodel is killing me.
Getting close now. Do you picture me? I'm too scared to say half of the things I picture you.
Oh.
When I picture you.
Stop. Chappell's literally just bragging at this point. She's literally just showing off her vocal ability right now. Going between like the yodel, like between intervals through the yodel, that is tough. That is tough. I mean, I'm a guy with a deep baritone voice, so like it's kind of hard for me to say, right? But a lot of vocalists I work with, I feel like they might have a bit of a hard time kind of getting their voice to get to that sort of spot of being able to just go down and up through the vocal break like that. It's phenomenal. It's like it's the Olympics of singing. That. Oh, fantastic.
Do you picture me like I picture you? Am I in the frame from your point of view? Do you feel the same?
Oh.
I'm too scared to see half of the things I do when I picture you.
Oh, beautiful. Those last like phrasings right there towards the end of the song had so much color to them. Like the way that she changed her voice to kind of match the texture of the song is pretty difficult to do, right? It's kind of like singing with an accent. I've worked with singers who are from other countries, but they sing like American singers because they like the color of it. They like the timbre of it. And Chappell right here kind of changed up her color a little bit for some of those notes to make them feel a bit more emotional, to make them feel a bit more like they belong in that sort of stereo spacing that the piano was doing, and to just kind of add a bit of that more emotional vintage vinyl warm touch to it, right? It's fantastic. A very, very good job on the vocals. The vocals definitely carried that whole thing. Let's move on to track 10, which we're nearing the sort of like last third of the album here. Track 10, Kaleidoscope. Ooh, I like that sound. I don't know what that is. It kind of sounds like a harpsichord, but a weird harpsichord. Something I've never even really heard before. I don't know. It's a keyboard instrument, I think. Either that or it's like some sort of weird stringed instrument I haven't heard yet. Yeah, what is that?
Here we go again. Everything is fine.
See, this is what I'm talking about. So this is what I mean by color, right? The way that Chappell's voice sounds here compared to how it sounded at the end of that last track, it's completely different, right? It's because it's not the notes that she's hitting necessarily. It could be part of it, but the color, like the whole like texture of the notes feels completely different here because it's a different emotion.
I guess we could pretend we didn't cross a line, but ever since that day, everything has changed. The way I write your name, the cursive letter A, whenever it may be that you go on your way. If you really want to leave, I'll never make you stay. Whatever you decide, I will understand. It'll all be fine. Just go back to being friends. And love is a kaleidoscope. How it works, I'll never know. And even how the change is somehow all the same. Turn it to the left and right, colors shining in your eye. And even upside down, it's beautiful somehow. It's never just a shape alone. Love is a kaleidoscope.
Oh, goodness. So beautiful. That performance right there, coupled with the strings just kind of gliding back there in the piano. I just had to close my eyes and just sort of float with it. That coupled with coffee, like I didn't expect there to be so many delightful ballads on here. Nice strings, nice strings.
And if you ever find someone who could write a better song for you, well, I'd love to see them try.
But I'd like to see them try. Like, she goes up into the falsetto after that, descends down with a couple of notes, and then up into the yodel and vibrates it. That the technical ability to do that is somebody who has practiced singing for quite a while. I mean that's just my personal opinion, working with lots of singers. That is something that isn't easily attainable. It's a very hard technique. Chappell ROAN style of singing is very unique. And I say that about a lot of people we talk about on this channel, but that's because you guys keep sending me good music to react to.
Put it all in words and sing it all in tune. There's no one else who could. The only one is you. And if you change your mind, I will understand.
Oh, something you guys might have not noticed. Maybe you have if you've heard the song a lot. But to make this exciting, to lead into this sort of bridge, if you will, of this song, or this like kind of next part, they took that last chord right there that the piano played and reversed it and then dropped the reverb. Like as soon as it went up in that whoop, and scooped us up into the next part, they cut the reverb off, because what that does is that makes it feel like we're in a different space now. The space we were in before, the room we were in before, we're no longer in, because that room sound is gone. So very intuitive. It's very common practice in production. It's to be expected in some of these pop songs, but I always appreciate it when I hear it.
Take time to go back to being friends.
Now we're getting the room back.
Love is a collide.
So if you heard, the room noise and the reverb went away. And now that we're into the next part, they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back. It's little subtle changes like that that affect your listening. It makes it feel like you're in a new part of the song, even if you're not. Even if you're using the same instruments, if you scoop things up with transitional effects like that, leave a bit of a break and then come back, it feels refreshing. It makes it feel like you're not just listening to the same thing on loop.
How it works, I'll never know. And even how the change is somehow all the same. Turn it to the left and right, colors shining in your eye, and even upside down. It's beautiful song.
Big vocal.
To hold it close. It's never just a shape alone. Love is a kaleidoscope.
That was beautiful. Big vocals, big belting ranged, big just prominent vocals, eventually just transitioning into just these small, fragile falsettos. Gives you goosebumps. It really does. Either that or it's really cold in here, but it's probably the performance. Great job on that. I'm definitely a Kaleidoscope fan. That was a really good song. I mean, that coupled with Coffee, and even the songs in between, I think this album has a very good pace to it. I'd say that much about it. It does have a very delightful pace. Let's move on to a very quick listening session of Pink Pony Club, because I've heard it so many times. It never gets old, but still, I want to give you guys fresh reactions here in this video, and I've jammed this song a lot. Let's rip through it. Pink Pony Club.
The Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, No, Pink Pony Club is awesome. It's such a good song. It's a timeless song. It really is. It deserves all of the praise that it got. I don't know if it's the lead single off this album or not. I have honestly no idea. By the time I was told to listen to Chappell, this album had already been out for a couple of months. So I honestly have literally no idea what came first, the chicken or the egg. But I honestly literally have no idea. Let's move on to track 12, which I believe, yes, yeah, I've heard this one. Yeah, Naked in Manhattan. We'll just jam through it. It wasn't my favorite, like out of all the Chappell Roan songs I had to listen to. It wasn't really my favorite out of all of them, just because I feel like the hook is really how Chappell like carries herself over that chorus. But I do really like kind of just the overall funk, the overall groove. It sounds like a good time. It's meant for that. It's a good song for those parts of her set, probably, and for people who really are into this kind of stuff. And I think that, you know, it's a good synth pop song. You know, it just doesn't hit me personally as hard as like Hot to Go. Looks like California was the first single here, but it just didn't really blow up as much as the other singles. So that's kind of interesting. Let's jam it. Track 13, California, everyone.
I stretched myself across 4 states, new lands, West Coast, where my dreams lay. I trade amber clay roads for
you hear that coming up?
Sea foam and the endless sun rays. 'Cause I was never told that I wasn't gonna get the things I want the most. But people always say if it hasn't happened yet, then maybe you should go. Come get me out of California. No leaves are brown. I miss the seasons in Missouri. My dying day.
So from a lyrical standpoint, so I like what's happening musically, where it's like this big pop anthem, pop buildup happening, right? But I noticed immediately from a lyrical standpoint, and again, I have no idea where she's going to go with this, but I can kind of relate because, like, I actually prefer the weather out here in the country personally. Like, one of the things I didn't like growing up in California was that it is literally the same all year long, except for summer. It gets so hot and it's just so miserable, especially Southern California. Northern California is absolutely beautiful, but growing up in Southern California my whole life, yeah, it's not as glamorous as people like to say it is. It's fun. It's great to visit. There's a lot of cool things to do in California for sure. I will never downplay that. But yeah, hearing this stuff even in song form, when I have left Missouri to go visit family in California, to go visit people outside of the state, I do miss just the like cozy 4 seasons. You get into different moods throughout the 4 seasons. Like, that is very relatable. And it's just so funny that it's California to Missouri, and that has literally been my life as well.
I'd be cool in California. I'd make you proud to think I almost had it going, but I let you down.
Oh, very nice vocal ability here. And I wonder, this sounds like it would be a really cool opener to the set. Depending on how the rest of the instrumental goes, right? Like a live set, this sounds like it would make a really cool opener because the way it rises up and starts with her crooning and then the instruments just kind of slowly accompanying it as she's kind of doing those very big, very confident vocal performances. Oh yeah, this is definitely an opener. Love those toms. I like that there was no dramatic sort of like hits or anything. It's literally just, okay, that first verse, chorus, pre-chorus part, that was all this sound. This verse, pre-chorus, chorus part is all this sound. There's no like sharp transitions happening or anything special or flashy. And I kind of like that. It's very straight to the point.
No leaves are brown. I miss the seasons in Missouri. My dying town. Thought I'd be cool in California. I'd make you proud to think I almost had it going, but I let you down.
Beautiful. I like the chord progression a lot.
Come give me
Oh.
come give me
So, do you remember how we talked about formant filters before on this channel? It's like an auto-tune thing where you can like adjust your formant. Don't worry, I'm not saying Chappell is using this effect, so bear with me here, guys. So what I'm about to say is, so what formants do is they either open the throat or they close the throat synthetically, right? Like it's an effect to like modulate the voice to give it that sort of talk boxy kind of effect. Here, she is doing it completely naturally. That is a very open throat, very wide, colorful way to sing. And it sounds so good right here. Like it almost sounded like a different singer, but then I kept listening. I was like, no, that's her. And it's very big. It's like a very open throat, like just adding a lot of color and a lot of emphasis to the notes. It really does a lot.
come give me out. Come give me out. Come give me out of California. No leaves are brown. I miss the seasons in Missouri. My dying town. Thought I'd be cool in California. I'd make you proud to think I almost had it going, but I let you down.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I thought that was a very good song. And not just because I can relate to the whole like loving the countryside, right? But like it was just beautifully sung. It was beautifully put together and it wasn't too flashy. You know, a lot of this album has been a lot of flash, and it's nice having all these more vulnerable moments, especially on this song where Chappell's sort of like admitting, and obviously it's probably part of more so the narrative than anything else, right? But kind of talking about the whole, like, I let you down, like I had these big dreams, I left what was known to me and what was so familiar for this strange out there kind of dream, and I thought I would make you proud doing it. And it feels good hearing that sort of spot of vulnerability, but not accompanied by a big orchestra or a lot of flash. Instead, it was just a very humble, modest instrumental sort of carrying the weight there. And I thought it was very pretty. Let's move on to the last track, track 14, Guilty Pleasure. Got nice acoustic guitar lead. Ooh. Backing vocals. Nice. Love the cracks. Love it.
Learned it on the internet.
We got a little cone filter vocal, people. So the high frequencies are a little muted and the low frequencies are a little muted for this nice mid-frequency mesh.
Wheels turning in my head. Think back to what you said, and I turn red. I'm turning red. Wild thoughts that make me melt. Good at below the belt. Sometimes I scare myself, but I can't help what I can't help. So shame on me and shame on you. I fantasize what we would do, and I would hear taste and the way you move. Oh, some good girls do bad things.
I like how the chord progression goes between all these different moods, like uncertainty, almost a bit of frustration, and then it relieves itself. It comes back. Like the chords chosen here go kind of ping pong between like 3 or 4 different emotions. Very, very well, I must say. In a very interesting way.
I want this like a cigarette. Can we drag it out and never quit?
We're building up with the synth.
Oh my God, you're heaven sent with your dirty mind. Yeah, you're perverted. You give me guilty pleasure.
Whoa. Hear those cowbells? Cowbells are underrated. I'm sorry. They just are. They're such a beautiful instrument.
You give me guilty
They're great.
pleasure.
Take me to Funky Town.
Feels like pornography. Watching you try on jeans. You're a butthead, you're a cinephile. It's been a while since you turned up the dial. So shame on me, shame on you, shame on this is what we would do. And I wouldn't taste the way you move. Some good girls do bad things too. I want this like a cigarette.
That was cool. So a lot of the frequencies of pretty much most of the instruments just ducked for like a millisecond, like not even that long. Not even that long, just like a millisecond, just ducked. And then it just went dun, dun, boom, right into the final swell of that chorus.
Can we drag it out and never quit? And oh my God, you're heaven sent with your dirty mind. Yeah, you're perverted. You give me guilty pleasure.
You hear those bells in the background?
You give me guilty pleasure.
Hold the phone, hold on. I literally love that. Any singer that can do stuff like that, the whole like jumping through the yodel, kind of like what we heard before, I think it was on Picture You. I'm all in with vocal technique like that. Like that to me is so entertaining. Just hearing how it glides up and goes through the break. Stuff I wish I could do. I'm cursed with just a low, awful voice, but yeah, no, it's just really entertaining. The wonders of the human voice. It's the most powerful instrument that we have. It really is. And it's like a counter melody, right? It's almost like a bridge counter melody thing that now we're like calling back to. Like it kind of has its own part in the song, but it's mostly just supplementing the main hook. You feel me? It's like supplementing the main hook. Great. Awesome. That was a nice album to listen to. I mean, was I expecting more bangers? Probably, but I did like having a very nice dynamic contrast between pretty much equal bangers and equal kind of more softer, more casual cuts on the album. And I thought Chappell really carried her weight in terms of being a vocalist and really stepping up to the plate on a lot of these songs and making a really unique piece of synth pop, electro pop, whatever you want to label this as. It's just a good pop record. And I do like that at the end there, we ended with a song like Guilty Pleasure that's kind of a feel-good jam instead of California. And California is one of my more favorite songs on the album. So hearing, like having that be the ending, I would have felt a little underwhelmed. Like, oh, that sucks. Our character doesn't really have anything like live for, or to like sort of enjoy after this whole experience. It's just gloom. It's just, I want to go home and I want to give up. And I think kind of having that proper send off in track 14 was really nice. Overall, I really liked it. I've personally heard, and maybe you guys can further educate me, I have heard that the Subway and the Giver are not singles leading us into a Chappell ROAN album, which to me is kind of unfortunate, because I feel like Chappell would definitely benefit from coming out with a new album, at least relatively soon. And I think that she could really expand a lot with her sound, with what we heard in both of those songs, both with the country influence of the Giver and the very 90s alt rock, just very well arranged the Subway. It would be nice to hear whatever Chappell ROAN's next chapter is whenever she gets around to writing it, if she gets around to writing it, if she feels like writing it. And with that being said, thank you guys for wanting me to check out this entire project, because I'm glad that I did. I think it was very delightful. There was a lot of cool little bits that I think I could sort of pinch off of from a music producer standpoint, and just a couple other songs that I could add to my sort of listening repertoire and playlists, if you will. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.